Hello, I'm Dr. Christopher Chappell, and today I have the pleasure to sit with my personal trainer and my friend and brother in Christ, Mr. John Harrison. We're here today to talk about, you see it on the screen, PE for Lives. And so, hey, John, would you tell everybody what is PE for Lives?
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity and all you've done to kind of help nurture this new baby of mine, and so we definitely appreciate you and the church as well. But PE for Lives is my brand new baby, I would say. It's my new company that administers all types of resources, health content for those who are looking to elevate their health, right? And so really the brand itself is just to help people think about health in a different capacity, right? So I run across people all the time who simply say that, you know, their standard for living and their standard for health is not as high as it should be, knowing how important it really is. And so PE for Lives is a company that will help people in 4 different components, right?
What are those 4 different components?
Component number 1 is health. We got to tackle that health. We got to get you mentally ready. We got to get your body in a motion-filled atmosphere. The second thing is the wellness component, right? So we got to get your mind ready. We got to get your family moving together so everybody can elevate their performance. The third component is fitness. So sometimes people say, well, I want to be fit, but they hadn't tackled the health or the wellness, right?
So just to get moving.
Got to get you moving. We got to do this thing in a progressional way so we don't set you up for failure in the long run. And the last one is athletic or peak performance, right? So most people live today and they think I'm just the average Joe Blow. My brain is going to make people who think they're average understand that you're a life athlete, right? So life is a performance, and if you don't perform at your highest level, it'll beat you up.
Okay, so John, tell me, what is it that makes PE for Life different from average? I mean, you know, there are so many people out here now who are always talking about, hey, I'm a fitness trainer. I already know, but for somebody who's watching and they just understand this is just not an infomercial, but this is an infomercial, but not just an infomercial, and how it can really make an impact on their lives.
Well, first and foremost, me. I believe in me. If I hadn't learned anything from you and your ministry and your teaching, I've learned that believe in yourself. And so I believe in my brand, my personality of being able to coach anybody. I have more faith in a lot of people than they have in themselves. And so that's the first thing. That's the first thing is my brand of believing in people. The second thing is the level of education that I've gone and saw after to really understand the body, not just from a superficial standpoint, but from more so from an internal standpoint, and how, you know, the things that we put in on the inside, how they affect your performance on the outside. Simply almost like, you know, spiritual, you know.
You know what I've discovered, and you've taught, you preached this from me from the onset, but one thing that I've really learned is that you cannot outwork poor eating habits.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. I saw that somewhere. I think I saw it in your gym.
In the gym.
You cannot outwork poor eating habits. In other words, you know, we work out and then we think we have a right or earned the right to eat certain kinds of things, and but we're not seeing the results that we need to see. And then society now has put us in such a bad way that there are more people that are unhealthy now than ever before, I believe. So talk about that. How do we get people to recognize, how do we get this audience to recognize the value of what you offer?
Well, the value of what I offer, you should recognize, number one, some statistics from the CDC from 2014, there were over 300,000 deaths from lifestyle diseases, right? So that's cholesterol, that's blood pressure,
that's lifestyle,
diabetes, heart disease, things that our lifestyle, the habits that we have in our lifestyle, they dictate how we live and the length of our living. And so that's the first thing. I work out and I do the things I do, and I teach it because I've seen certain scenarios where a person, you know, may not have left this world as early as they should.
Now, died way too soon.
Way too soon. And so, you know, we're living to win, right? We're living to win. Sometimes, you know, we cut our wins short depending on the habits. And so that's the first thing of value. And the second thing is just being able to elevate a person's thought pattern past just, hey, you know, PE for me in high school was something I did because I had to. Now it's something you should do because you want to live, and number two, and because it helps you even in your workplace. There are some studies out there that suggest that the brain operates at 80% higher efficiency after a workout, right? Because you let all these endorphins off and you let these toxins out of your system through sweat. And so not only am I helping you health-wise and motion-wise, when you get here, I'm helping the CEO, right?
Yeah. You know, I tell everybody, and it's also, you know, exercise is and fitness is a great stress reliever.
Absolutely.
Because there's no way you can work out and focus on your problem. It allows you have to focus on your breathing. You got to focus on proper technique, and that's what I love about you, John. I'm 53 years old, and what I've discovered is that there are a lot of trainers, but you have trained me to a point where I'm not being injured.
Absolutely.
And that's what a lot of people have the fear of. My body's not as tuned as it once was, and I have to be very careful. And what I appreciate about you is that my age, though I'm doing quite a bit, you don't strain me to a point where I'm pulling muscles as a result of my workout. Now I might pull muscles because I don't do the things that I'm supposed to do on my end, but it's not. I've never been injured. As a result of your training. So tell us, how your training, the PE for Lives, fits all genres of ages and ethnicities. I see you have a lot of different people and a lot of different age groups that are training with you. So for someone who's watching says, you know what, I don't want to do that because I'm too old or I'm too young or wherever. So how do you cater and tailor fit each program for each person?
Well, no, that's where the brand really comes in. And you notice we saw the words PE and that kind of entails physical education first. I know we said performance enhancement. So it's really a play on words. And so physical education, no matter who you were, at some point we all had to take it, right? And so my motto and the thing that I really focus on, number one, I tell everybody, is safety. And just to be comical about it, if I hurt you, then you can't come and see me and pay me money. I got to keep you safe. So that's the first thing. The second thing is longevity, right? I want to make sure that when you leave from dealing with me, that you're able to do whatever you want to do, and you don't have to worry about your knees, your back, and all of this stuff. So I have a background in post and pre physical therapy, right? So I've been doing a lot of observation in that because one of my major goals is to gain my PhD in physical therapy, right? So I have that knowledge and background to understand different modalities and different ranges of motions and different exercise techniques to where if you do have an injury, I know how to work around that body part, because in life we don't just use your one muscle, use your entire body. So we really focus on functional training for everybody, right? So that's my secret.
Man, listen, I mean, you can tell the man knows what he's talking about. And guess what? I've entrusted my life to him, my wife, and there are those who work with us here in our ministry, and we've gotten our whole church involved. And so, listen, when I think about it, there's something else that you spoke about when you said the value. I think sometimes we will invest more with hair. I'm sorry, ladies, more with buying weave than we will invest in the wellness of our bodies. I like to say it this way: more people will spend more money on cell phone bills than they will invest in their wealth. In their wealth, in other words, your body is your wealth making ability.
Absolutely.
Because if the body's not functioning right, you can't produce the wealth that God, the ability that God has given you. So you help us to maximize. So there is a value, but there's also a cost involved.
Absolutely.
And so let's talk about this commitment. This commitment and willingness to invest. We won't use the word cost. Let's use this word of investment. Absolutely. And what can a person expect on their investment into their health and wellness?
Okay. Well, from an investment standpoint, you can expect how much you're worth. How much your health is worth. And so for many people, it doesn't matter if I gave you a dollar amount. It doesn't matter, if I told you $1,000 for 6 months. It doesn't matter if I told you $500 for 3 weeks. It's a matter of, I think you said it's a matter of the heart, right? It's a matter of the heart. When you talk about the heart, your heart beats on average about 100,000 times a day, right? So that's all those different times a day your heart gets a chance to beat. But what if it's not healthy? Or what if you're putting, Tom Ford on top of a bad heart?
Ooh, glory.
Ooh, yeah, so Tom Ford on top of a bad heart doesn't do you any good. And so the value of my program and the investment in my program simply goes to what the client is or the customer is looking for, right? All the programs that we do are customized and detailed specifically for the needs of that individual. So what you need and what Susie needs over here is two totally different things. And so the investment really comes down to what the program is, how long you're in that program, the different resources and tools that you need to complete that program. And so that's what we do. Everything is custom based on the people who need to be a part of the program.
The reason I was grabbing my phone is because I'm so photogenic. I love the lights, and I'm sharing my photos because I've been working with John. Last August was a year, and man, I'm gonna be honest with you now. I've had highs and I've had lows, and but I'm very conscious now that my change came with being focused on how I was eating.
Absolutely.
And so I realized the value of my investment. It doesn't make sense to get up, those 2 or 3 days a week to come and work out with you and not get the results that I want. And John will tell you, you're going to always get, he's going to give you what you ask for, what you're paying for. And so, listen, what's one thing that you would really want everybody to know about John Harrison and PE, Performance Enhancement for Lives? What's the one thing, if they get nothing else out of our conversation today, what's the one thing they got to take away?
The one thing that you have to take away, I don't care who you are, where you are, what your age is, I don't care what your gender is. My job and my assignment is to get you perform better at life. You're a life athlete, and it doesn't matter where you are, you have to perform. And if you don't have health, then you don't have anything. You don't have time, you don't have movement. So my assignment is, like you say, my assignment is to get every single person that I'm attached to be able to perform to a level where we're in times now where healthcare is at risk, insurance is at risk. My goal is to say, you know what, I want to be able to impact this community to in another year. You may not even need your health insurance, because you're performing at such a high level. You go to the doctor, you may not even see them for another year.
Well, as you're mentioning that, someone says, well, you know what, I need some, sometimes people feel uncomfortable working out with you by yourself. Some ladies may feel uncomfortable. Some men may feel uncomfortable having a lady work out with you. But listen, my wife works out with John, and I feel comfortable, and sometimes we work out together. Is it possible for someone who says, you know what, I want to work out, but I want my girlfriend, you know how ladies are, I want my girlfriend to work out with me. Is it possible to do group training like that?
Absolutely. I mean, again, back to the brand and the PE for Lives brand is I'm actually rebranding how I train, So I'm really going to a small, semi-private to a group model because, number one, I can get more people in less amount of time. I can make the programs a lot more affordable for people. And so we're actually going to a group model to where I can get 6 or 7 people in a class at once for an hour a day, 4 or 5 times a week. Now I triple the times you see me. You can see me more, and you get results a lot faster. So,
but that's I know you said that, but you know what I have learned? I have used this now. I can get more done in my 30 to 40 minutes with you than what most people can get done in an hour and a half in the gym, because what you have taught me, John, is that if I can really break my workout into what I call 2-minute increments, then I don't have to focus on my 35 or 40 minute segment. If I can just focus on, and that way I get more done focusing on my 2-minute intervals or whatever we're doing, 30 seconds or 60 seconds. I can get more done because I'm not so far down the road that I'm focusing that, oh man, I got 35, 40 minutes of this. And so I've used that in my daily planning.
Absolutely.
Now what I do with all of my different projects, I say, you know what, I'm going to work on this for 2 minutes. I'm going to work on this for 10 minutes. And it has my focus for that time, so I get more done. And so that's what somebody else watching now, perhaps this may encourage somebody else who's watching. Tell us what a 30 to 40 minute workout session looks like for the average person.
Okay, for the average person, let me preface this statement by just telling you, Honest Abe said, you don't chop a tree down one time, one axe at a time. It's 5 chops a day, for a matter of 60 days. They say you don't eat an elephant one bite and just one big bite. You got to get a couple small bites.
You kill yourself trying to swallow the whole elephant.
So what we simply do, we start you out in about a 5 to 7 minute warm up when you first get in the gym, functional warming up, things that help kind of loosen those major problem areas for people, hips, back, shoulders. We start you out about a 5 to 7 minute workout interval. Then I'll take you through maybe a 10-minute interval on specific muscle groups, maybe 2 or 3 muscle groups. Then we transition to another 2 or 3 muscle groups for another 10 minutes. Before you know it, you're now 32 minutes, right? And so then we may go another 5 or 6 minutes to work on specifically the core, which is a big problem for a lot of people, posture and all that good stuff. How tall you look and really are, it's just a matter of how strong your core is to hold your body up.
That's why I was doing all that core the other day.
That's why.
I was pulling the ropes and raising my legs.
That's why. Because I want you to look the best, man. I want you to be performing for life, man. And then we end up everything with maybe a 45-minute stretching and cool down period. And so that's your 30 to 40 minutes. And then we get a lot more done. And the thing is efficiency. Efficiency. I really focus on efficiency because a lot of people don't have an hour and a half a day.
Well, one thing also I've learned, from the moment I open my eyes, my phone is buzzing.
Yes.
And what I love about it, I have set my time with you as part of my day. That's my day. My day starts out after I do prayer and I meditate, and my next move is to make it because I'm committed, and I understand your time, and so I would not dare waste your time. So, if you're going to make an appointment with anyone, always make it your business to be where you're supposed to be, because now they keep you from, and so I just want to throw that plug in. He didn't actually do that, but I wanted to let you know that you've got to have a level of loyalty and commitment and stay with the process.
All right.
So, John, tell us now, tell the person that's watching now, how can they connect with you and hire you as their personal trainer?
All right, so you can connect with me through several different mediums. Number one is my brand new rebranded website, inspired by the man that I'm sitting here next to, to step out on faith and just do what I need to do. And that website is www.pe4lives, lives.com, right? And that name is strictly for the urgency of let's get moving and let's get this done quick, fast, and in a hurry. The second way you can get in contact with me is my telephone number. It's my office line is 678-310-5459. That's 678-310-5459. And then you can also email me at pe4lives@yahoo.com. That's soon to be changed to my website, but just for now, pe4lives@yahoo.com. And those are the ways you can get in contact with me. And also through Grace, I'm here, very faithful member, and love what I do here. And so you can also find me here all the time.
All right. Well, you've heard it from the man himself. And listen, make it a great day. And guess what? We're living to win.